Jeff Kaplan popped onto a developer update today to explain the PTR update, which includes a bunch of quality of life features, some major communications wheel buffs, further queue time improvements, and improvements to the workshop and other things as well. Now, what you notice here in the menu, you actually can rebind any of the communication options onto the comms wheel as you want. And beyond that, there's way more options in general. Now, the voice lines have not been added onto the PTR yet, but all the characters will have unique voice lines for all these things, which is going to be really awesome to either improve your competitive play experience or just your troll factor. Being able to spam "I'm sorry" after you wreck someone, I'm sure is going to make many of you happy. So let's just take a quick look at all of the different options that you can set now. They've added defending, go, going in, need help, no, on my way, press the attack, push forward, ready, thanks, with you, you are welcome. I mean, you can have a whole conversation with these, basically. You can spam fall back when it's time for the team to regroup, and there's even a countdown feature which allows you to time abilities together, which again, using a mic is always going to be the best way to do this, but only so many people can meaningfully talk on the mic at the same time, whereas I think it's a lot easier to hear the characters say it in-game, mixed appropriately with all the in-game sounds. One thing that I'm interested in finding out is that the attacking voice line, I wonder if you can put it on a target similar to how you can do with the acknowledge button, which changes that voice line to attack the objective. We only have access to the training range, so I can't confirm or deny if that's the case, but putting it on a target and pressing the button to call out a focus fire target via a voice line would be a massive buff to the comms options. Keep in mind that any of these you both can bind to the comms wheel itself to put it in the spot you want it, or you can bind it to a button or a specific key or button on your mouse or whatever platform you're on. For the most competitive players out there, you'd probably want to get rid of a voice line like hello in place for something more useful, and perhaps take things out of the comms wheel that you normally use a button for anyway. I, for example, almost always use Z for my ultimate status, so I probably could free up that slot in the comms wheel for something else that's a bit more situational. Really excited to dig into this and properly use it in game. With how hard Overwatch is, depending on the character I'm on, I definitely find it difficult to use the mic fluently while playing especially mechanically challenging heroes, so I'm extremely happy to be able to just push a button to say what I'm trying to say. But otherwise, the patch notes are now on the game itself. There's built-in visuals. It looks really clean and nice. You can check it out anytime there is a patch update. There are links to going to the forums if that's still your thing. Beyond the comms wheel, there isn't much in this patch. However, a game-saving update now allows you to reset the basketballs in the dropship of control maps. Overwatch is finally saved. Somebody call CNN. No, that's obviously a fun change. Balance-wise, don't sleep on these head hitbox reductions. Both Echo and Reinhardt's head hitbox volume have both been reduced. This is one of the major balancing points to Echo, I thought, where her hitbox was just kind of massive. Old Orisa size, it almost felt like. Now with it smaller, Echo is going to get a buff from this, and they say the Reinhardt one is intended to only be so that it's harder to hit him from behind, but we'll have to see if it's just on both sides of his head. They made some buffs to the custom games and workshop they keep churning out improvements to be able to let those of you who are talented enough to attempt coding modes in it even more options for you to play with. I don't know anything about that stuff, so hopefully you find that useful. One change I'm pretty excited about that Jeff Kaplan talked about is a priority queue for players disaffected by matches that ended early. If somebody leaves the game, making it end early, when you queue up again, you'll be in what's called a priority queue. And the way Jeff explained it was that although you won't be at the front of the line, you'll sort of just return back to where you were in line as if the match that just got canceled didn't happen. That's put in place that way so that there wasn't a benefit for ending matches early, which is definitely a good quality of life fix that I think is a bit of a no-brainer, kind of a win-win, makes sense to everybody involved. But what's even more exciting is the potential of the next step further, right? Like, is there a way to get priority queue status for filling on an in-demand role? That's kind of what I've been asking for quite some time. But Jeff did say that they've been taking a look at queue times, and I did notice that queue times have been drastically lower in the past couple weeks. I don't know if this is because more players are back playing when Echo just came out. Balance of the game is pretty good. Maybe people are having a good time. Or perhaps it's just because they've widened the thresholds in the acceptable tolerances for the SR differences between teams, allowing for more players to be able to fit in more matches when it's trying to queue, because I kind of have noticed that as well. Not exactly sure. They haven't fully explained what's going on. I think a lot of these changes, they don't want to tell you the secret to it so that you can exploit it, but it might just be that most of the DPS players are playing Valorant now. So the queue times are just more even across the board. But that's everything for this update video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please be sure to leave it a like. It really does help us out. Let us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe. I'm sure to hit the bell icon to actually get notified when our videos go live. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. We'll see you guys next time.